Good morning. That sound of the bell is the shopping stops now. If somebody could, Marty, could you tell them to come on in? Thank you. Happy Easter, everyone. It's a wonderful day to have you here with us, and Reverend Mary and I are sharing our talk this morning, but we have the highlight of Dalton and Judy and the Hartsonga Choir, and so we're going to kick it off with that. So let's begin. That was fun. Thank you. That just brings a smile to my face and to my heart. Thank you so much for putting that together. We have another one at the end of service. Is that right? Okay, good. Something to look forward to. The other thing that makes me happy are these beautiful flowers. Thank you, Cher. She went to Jim Nelson's and harvested some, and they're just beautiful, and the fragrance is filling our hall. So, again, I am here in service. I'm Reverend Sue, that lady over there, Dr. Mary, and we're here going to speak to you on spiritual evolution. Now, I wasn't going to do this, but Charlie said I probably would. I have a lisp because I have the Invisalign retainers. So if you think, what's wrong with her? Did she drink a bunch of whiskey before she came? It's just, I'm trying to really enunciate, and I tried to put my talk together with words that had no ST, SHs, so we'll see what happens. But I welcome you all this morning, this glorious Easter morning, such a beautiful day. We're going to spend a moment and say hello to those that are at home watching. And so turn around and say Happy Easter to those at home. Yep. Watch Lindy's hand. She'll let you know when we're done. Yep. There we go. Yeah, that's a joyous moment. Yeah. Hello, everyone at home. Yeah. They've got their Easter jammies on still, probably. So thank you for all of those that are here in service today. We have a couple board members, Christy and Sage, are helping to oversee the jewelry sale, the marketplace jewelry sale that you've all been waiting for. The middle table there is the marketplace items. So let me highlight that a little bit, because today is your day to view that and have first dibs, and then it gets placed on Facebook Marketplace. So Shirley McQueeston is championing that for us, and this is a way to outreach into the community to sell some of these lovely things as well. But the generosity of all of you that donated, thank you. It just was a lot of fun to put this project together. So that's happening today, and we'll be opening it after services too, as well as the bookstore is open, and Jill is there to be in service there. Marty's here as the board member. And hopefully when you came in, you received a gift from, this is something Dr. Mary put together for all of you. So it's a little gratitude Easter journal. So please, if you didn't grab one, there's plenty. You can get one on your way out as well. A real sweet, thoughtful project that she enjoyed putting together, especially the back page. That's our favorite. Just saying. This is the last day that we're going to be doing our Match the Funds for the AC in the pavilion. We've earned enough money through our Match the Fund and the anonymous donor that we can move forward with this project, which is exciting because Mary and I are strongly looking forward to the July. For some reason, we manifested that COVID will be extinguished in July. We're pretty powerful. So we're knowing that things are going to open up and start moving and grooving at that time. So that air conditioning will be in a timely way. It'll be worked on later this month. I also want to highlight at the board table, and Marty can point that out to you, this is the month if you see a project around the facility that you see could use some improvement, the endowment grant is now the time to fill that out. And it explains that on a letter form back at the board desk. So if you are thinking of something like that, go ahead and grab one of those. They need to be turned in by May 1st. Shari and Wyndham, our artist, she is doing basic watercolor painting skills starting Monday, April 12th. And she's also doing creating original paintings with atmosphere and mood. And that starts April 14th. We are collecting books as you see some clutter around. That's good clutter. It is used books and CD sale. And that's going to start April 18th. So if you've got some items you want to share, we appreciate that. Dr. Andrea Acevedo and me are doing a Women's Day on Saturday, April 24th. And it's called Finding Sacred Balance. We invite the women to look ahead to that. And we're excited that Dr. Andrea will be speaking at the end of the month. She's a treasure, as many of you know, and she's doing a workshop to follow, open to everyone, Medicine for the Spirit. So that's highlighting some of the things coming up. Now, do we have any birthdays? April birthdays. Oh, kind of a quiet 9 months before, huh? All right. Well, if you're at home, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to my son. His birthday is April 21st. So I honor him today. Any newcomers with us? Nope. Well, I'm just moving right along my schedule here. We have little packets back there. If you, she's not new. That's Maddie, isn't it? She's different to you. You're Maddie, aren't you? Okay, you look so pretty. I only see her on lunch with Ernest Holmes, and she doesn't wear her mask, but I think that looks like Maddie. I'll give you one later. We'll talk later. Yes. All right, so we're going to do the reading with Craig Boyer. Come on forward. And we have Damien in the audience today. Well, I mentioned Craig, but hello, Damien.
This is the final conclusion from the Science of Mind text, page 423. In conclusion, what the world needs is spiritual conviction, followed by spiritual experience. I would rather see a student of this science prove its principle than to have him repeat all the words of wisdom that have ever been uttered. It's far easier to teach the truth than it is to practice it. But the practice of truth is personal to each of us, and in the long run, no one can live our lives for us. To each is given what he needs, and the gifts of heaven come alike to all of us. How we shall use these gifts is all that matters. To hold one's thoughts steadfastly to the constructive, to that which endures, and to the truth may not be easy in a rapidly changing world, but to the one who makes the attempt, much is guaranteed. The essence of spiritual mind healing and all true religious philosophy is an inner realization of the presence of perfection within and around all of us. It is the hope of heaven. It is the voice of God that proclaims, I am that which thou art, and thou art that which I am.
And in that silence, we gather our consciousness as one. Can you feel it? The words, the reading so powerfully spoken by Craig, almost sounding like God himself, herself. That declaration of truth, that wisdom, that power, that absolute knowing that there is only one. And as we lean into that wisdom, into that truth, into that love, we recognize that we can just surrender and let go and be those divine conduits of this truth forevermore. So I give thanks for the idea of this spiritual evolution that is ever propelling us forward, that is always, always beckoning us to the call of love. Love is all there is. And as we resonate with that truth, we awaken in gratitude to what is. So I give thanks for the fellowship felt here today, for the enthusiasm, for the celebration of community. And I release this word in that gratitude, and together we say, and so it is. Thank you, Judy. So I'm going to speak first. And that's about it. Just kidding. Make her nervous. I thought it'd be really funny if I just snuck her talk and started doing it, and then she'd what am I going to say now? But I want to start with Leonard Jacobson, because this has a lot to do with where we're going today in this exploration of spiritual evolution. As you awaken, you will begin to experience the flower of your being. But the full flower of your being is too vast. You cannot embrace it for long. It is necessary to let go of the flower and embrace the seed. In time, the seed will evolve into the flower, and eventually the flower will come to full bloom. And I will tell you something which very few people know. Once the flower has come to full bloom, and you have lived and expressed and experienced the flower totally, then that flower will be taken away. A tremendous sense of loss will arise. There will be a time of uncertainty and confusion, and then suddenly a new flower will be presented, which is infinitely greater than the first. Now those powerful words, to me, sums up what spiritual evolution is. A few weeks ago, Reverend Andy was here, and he was talking about immortality, and he talked about it so joyfully. I thought, I can't wait. But I thought, well, we are living that right now. We are living our immortality. And so to expand on that, these words from Ernest Holmes, evolution, according to him, is the passing of spirit into form. We emerge from this one presence. We live, move, and have our being in this essence. Do you guys all agree to that? Yeah? Does it feel comfortable? Does it feel like a new thought? It's the idea that we continually speak to week after week, class after class, this essence. It's evident in all of creation, Ernest Holmes reminds us. This divine idea of life forms itself in self-expression, made manifest. It goes on for eternity. That's important. As every idea unfolds to a higher state of consciousness, divine realities are made of ideas. So this divine spark, going back to what Leonard Jacobson said about the seed, the spark, the seed, the deep inner knowing. Now this is from the Vedic philosophy, but that divine spark that ignites the mundane clod. Sounds so, whoa. But that's the way it starts, this divine idea expressing in everything. Spirit passes into substance prior to passing of substance into a definite form. Let me say that again. Spirit passes into a substance prior to passing of that substance into a definite form to begin the endless round of evolution, on and on forevermore. Okay, here's one of those words, so I'm going to say it really quick. Swedenborg law of celestial correspondences states that in the invisible, now he was a Greek philosopher way back who influenced a lot of Quimby. Quimby influenced a lot of what Ernest Holmes believed in healing, the power of healing. So these laws of correspondence are very intimate with the study of science of mind. So he says there is an invisible prototype. There is in the invisible a prototype of the visible. There is in the invisible a prototype of the visible. So kind of think on that a little bit. It's all up and down the line. Emerson also says in Law of Parallels, nature has but two laws. She plays the familiar tune over and over and over. And Swedenborg said there is a celestial correspondence to every terrestrial thing. The Bible says, how is it that the dead are raised up, and with what body do they come? There are celestial bodies and terrestrial bodies. The body is sown in weakness, raised in power, sown into a natural body, raised in a spiritual body. For there is both a natural and a spiritual body. These are wisdoms of Ernest Holmes that I share with you, that sometimes we can read past them a little quickly, but it's pertinent today when you think about, now how did Jesus the Christ resurrect and appear? That was the spiritual body forever, evermore. That was that which was invisible in him took a form. It was the prototype of him all the time. And to those that had the heart and the faith to believe were able to witness this truth. Ernest Holmes says there's such a pattern. There must be, or we would not be here. I love this. There is no artist, these are his words, that has ever seen beauty. No biologist has ever seen life. No physicist has ever seen energy. No philosopher has ever seen reality. No theologian has ever seen God. All we see is the tail end of an effect. All we see is the tail end of an effect, a shadow cast by the invisible substance. Wow, Sue. I know. Awesome. Have I lost you? Because those ideas, when I dissect them out of the textbook, I just get, they thrill me. So we're thinking of Jesus Christ placing his hand, this outstretched hand to the Father, to the One, to what he endearingly called his Father. We can call it the universe, whatever it is, but all of us can reach our hand out and walk unafraid. We can all walk in this life unafraid. For Jesus Christ was bound to this relationship with the One. He was bound to it. He established his walk in life with the idea of faith. faith of the eternality of his soul, faith that whatever he needed, it was given. He surrendered all fear, placed his trust forevermore in divine good. So Ernest Holmes goes on here, through the long night watches, his hand clasped mine. At the break of dawn, his hand clasped mine. In the daytime of work and endeavor, from eternity to eternity, his hand clasped mine. When time shall have passed, when eternity shall be strewn about like falling petals, and space and worlds are swallowed up in everlasting blessedness, his hand clasped mine. That just brings tears to my heart. The idea that depth of faith, that no matter what is going on, his hand, her hand, divinity's hand is reaching out to usher you to the everlasting love forever and evermore. So this idea of immortality, this resurrection, a message for each of us to be willing to open to the possibility, just be open to it. Because remember, it is something we cannot see with the finite mind. It is infinite in its possibility. It is infinite in its beauty. So he said, these are his words again, the resurrection of Jesus was a message for each of us to be willing to open to that possibility that we persist after the experience of our physical death. Now, according to this possibility for all of us to consider, that we're in this continuous stream of consciousness, of self-knowingness that we all possess, but we also see that this consciousness is clothed in a form. So the soul takes form as your body, my body, this body dies, and then there is a divine substance that forms a new body in the hereafter. Now, we had a lot of fun with this chapter on immortality in the Science of Mind textbook. The students, we sat together with all of this, looking at the infinite mind of God and all the possibilities. And, you can almost get on the edge of a little woo-woo, but it was ignited a conversation. All of us trying to pick up a corner and look at it a little more carefully to see what is this that they're talking about. And it came to the subject of ether, that invisible substance that we cannot see with our eyes, but we're informed of it, that it is a solid matter and it penetrates everything, and that we have a body within a body. So we conclude that there is this physical natural body and this beautiful spiritual body. So let me just wrap this up when I say, when we meet each other, when we meet one another, we do not feel that, or do we not feel that subtle presence that is flowing through all things? We can feel that with each other. I feel connected to you. I feel that presence ever flowing. And it brings color to our experience. It brings connection to one another. That's the presence. There's something divine in us that we often overlook. We often overlook it when our heart contracts. And I know we've had those moments together in different experiences, each with their own story. So bottom line here, there's more to us than we realize. This eternal destiny, a forever expanding principle of conscious intelligence. The ocean in the drop of the water, the sun in its rays, for each of us. The us is birthless, deathless, changeless. God as us, in us, is us. The highest God, the innermost God, is one and the same God. Beautiful summation of all of that from Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind. Now I'm teaching a little class called Brain Sutras, and this comes from Martin Woodkey, the author of this. He says, regardless of what happens, the most important thing we can do in this lifetime as we develop spiritually in our inner world, regardless of whatever else is happening, is to seek to replace competition, this is so timely, to replace competition, aggression, and division with the core principles: kindness, compassion, responsibility, and forward thinking. Yeah, I'm in for that. I'm in for that. As societies feel like they're fracturing or breaking down, let us be the ones that make that choice to enter into kindness with one another, compassion, take responsibility, and allow ourselves to do our forward thinking. So I close with this. His mind clock, this is Sri Srimnoy, his mind clock tells him that he does not have time to waste. His precious time waiting for God, since God's existence is quite uncertain. But his heart clock tells him to wait, to watch, for God will indefinitely come. His soul clock tells him that God has already arrived and asks him what he is doing and why he is not taking care of the supreme guest. Are you taking care of the supreme guest in the evolution of your spirituality and your soul? Thank you for listening. And Dr. Mary? Thank you.
Good morning. What a great group we have together here. This is awesome. Really awesome. You know, in the Science of Mind text, Dr. Holmes builds his case on this philosophy chapter after chapter after chapter. He says it this way, that way, the other way, and in maybe after 4 or 5 times or maybe a year, you go, oh, I get it. And then it all comes together, and it's deep that way, but yet it's simple when you look back and go, I just didn't get it first time around because it's so huge. It's all about the power of our mind, the power of living in spiritual principles. And it's about the power of affirmative prayer, which here we call spiritual mind treatment. We're surrounded by infinite possibilities, goodness, love, life, reason. And as we express these qualities of God, they increase the experiences that come into our lives. What our mind is focused on attracts more, like energy. So along the way, as we study here, we develop our skill level, and we develop a connection with infinite intelligence in an intelligent way, not just by chance, but by the method of spiritual principles and spiritual mind treatment. Because we're working with a power that has no bounds. It's infinite. It's not limited in any way. You know, it's the power that created the universe and everything in it, and that's pretty darn powerful stuff. So recognizing it's all power, it's all energy, everywhere we look is energy, everything we feel is energy, this podium is energy, this book is energy, we're dealing with that in an intelligent way. You know, we deepen our realization for how this works by coming here on Sunday, by taking classes and workshops. And we find ourselves maybe walking out of here going, I learned something new. Oh, I put 2 and 2 together, and oh, it is more than 4. I'll be darned. We turn a corner in our understanding, and we feel wiser, and we feel more connected with spirit. And we're more, what's the word? We more easily let go of the past, especially any negative thing in our past. We more easily let go of it because we know as our mind is focused on the good, we draw more of that to us. So why hang on to those negative experiences? Why hang on? There's no reason to. We're here to create more beautiful experiences, more intelligent experiences. We're operating from the very center of all reality. You know, I'm a real science student, and I love looking or reading all articles about we might have found life on another planet. Well, you know, good going with that. We're in the center of reality here. We're in the center of it all. And you've probably heard this phrase, principle is not bound by precedent. What that means is we have a spiritual principle like take love or freedom, and it's not bound by a precedent where something else had to happen before we could use it. We're not bound by an unloving relationship. We're bound by the principle of love. And nothing can take that away. Nothing can destroy that as we use it. It's all called law, and it responds to our vision at the exact level of our vision. So if our vision is this big, yeah, boy, there it is. And if our vision is this big, oh my gosh, here it comes. And if it's this big, it feels like a train barreling down on you. I was talking to Linda Mitchell, she's one of our new board members last week, and she's retiring as physical speech therapist after 30 some years. And she said, it's scary. What am I going to do? I said, well, I've retired. This will be my third retirement this summer. And something always shows up, always shows up. I'm not worried about that. But you know what? It's bigger, it's better, it's more rewarding. And it helps others in so many ways. So I'm full charge ahead. Bring it on. Bring that train on. It's valuable to feel enthusiastic. I used to work at a big corporation, and this one person irritated the heck out of me. He was so enthusiastic, and he never accomplished anything. And one day, he told me his secret. He said, no one's ever been fired for being enthusiastic. Now, I would never do that myself, but it sure worked for him. But enthusiasm is contagious, isn't it? So I'm so excited about what's coming forward in my life that I don't even know about yet. But I know it's deep, it's loving, it's concrete. It takes me beyond my comfort edge. It takes me beyond that comfort edge. Like, oh, I'd love to do that, but could I? Could I? Yeah. That's where I'm starting to hang out, and it feels really good. I'm always impressed when I open the Science of Mind textbook and take a look at something, and, the reading was from page 423, and yesterday, before I knew that, I opened the book, it was on 423, I thought, this will be good, and Sue had already used it, so I found out. But there's something juicy in the way Holmes describes these things. We pay attention to what we really want to hear, what we need to hear. If it grabs our thought, if it grabs our mind, stop there, stay there a minute. What am I meant to hear? What am I meant to understand? Because like he said, what the world needs is more spiritual conviction, confidence, followed by spiritual experiences. And when you have spiritual conviction and confidence, guess what? They're all over the place, those experiences. He said, I'd rather have people do that than repeat all the words anybody has ever said. There's millions of words out there that can guide us, but if you don't use it, if you don't put it to use, they're just words. So it's far easier to teach this than to practice it because it's personal to every one of us. I can't tell you how to do it. Only you will know how to do it. Because each is given what is needed, not necessarily what we want. So tomorrow I'm bringing about 36 books that I gently took off my bookshelf and put in boxes. It was really hard. I told Paul, I think I got about 36 books to give up. Is that all, he said? Yes, of course, that's about all. But I thought, well, it's Easter. Oh, he's going to play. Okay, it's Easter, and one of the books I had thrown in the box is this little one, Jesus Calling. And I thought, well, it's Easter. Why don't I do something about Jesus? So it's called Jesus is Calling Us. Enjoy peace in his presence. So I want to read this little one. It's really cute. And this is Jesus talking. Come away with me for a while. The world with all its nonstop demands can be put on hold. Most people put me on hold, rationalizing that someday they will find some time to focus on me. But the longer people push me into the background of their lives, the harder it is for them to find me once again. You live among glorious people who are very, very busy. They've made time a tyrant that controls their lives. Even those who know me as a savior tend to march to the tempo of the world. They have brought into illusion that more is always better. More this, more that, more people, more programs. I've called you to follow me on a solitary path, making time alone with me your highest priority. It's a pathway largely unappreciated and often despised. However, you have chosen the better thing, which will never be taken away from you. Moreover, as you walk close to me, I can bless others through you. Thank you, Jesus. And so it is.
Good morning, everybody. I'd just like to encourage you to meditate on what you just heard. As you take a listen to this, Holy Spirit, come unto me. Bring your love to all that I see. Shower me with love and blessings from above. May I see your radiant face in everyone and every place. Loving presence, voice from within. Show to me the place to begin. In my darkest hour, may I recognize your power and feel your grace as I begin again. God, work through me. God, renew me. Be my strength when I forget just who I am. And Father, fill my every moment with you. Bring your love to all that I do. May I always hear the voice that keeps you near, and may your precious love be ever new. May I always hear the voice that keeps you near, and may your precious love be ever new. Amen.
Thank you. That was a perfect song. That's why you came today. That was pretty awesome. Thank you so much. So we have just a few more things that we're going to share, and we'll have a closing Heart Sangha choir presentation. And the offertory, since it's still COVID, the offertory baskets are at the desk up there and back here. The little Easter basket there, if you make any donation for the AC, this is the last day to match that fund. You can grab an Easter egg. But I see some precious young people here. So just go grab a bunch of those plastic eggs. Because you came to church. And you look so beautiful. She looks like a little princess. So let's all just turn around and not make her uncomfortable. But both children are just so adorable. That's one thing we've missed because we haven't had our children's program allowed to open yet. But boy, are we eager. The teachers are ready, and we're going to be doing a big cleanup in June, and hopefully that'll all start up again, and we'll get to see those precious faces of God. So the offertory, we bless the offertory always. We're so grateful for all the funds that come through the center so that we can continue to prosper here and to be in service. So let's do our affirmation together. And are you ready for it? Do you know what it is? Okay, you start it then. We have to do everything. Oh, I'll give you a hint. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. Okay, now I want you to say it with a little more enthusiasm so that the whole city can hear you. I'll back away. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. Yeah. Okay, so enjoy this closing song and enjoy racing to get your jewelry and the bookstore, and enjoy whatever you do on this beautiful Easter day. So the lights out, and here we go.
Let us always meet each other with a smile, for a smile is the beginning of love. Let us always meet each other with a smile, for a smile is the beginning of love. Let us always meet each other with a smile, for a smile is the beginning of love. Let us always meet each other with a smile, for a smile is the beginning of love. A beautiful gift, a beautiful thing. Love begins at home. Love is not measured, love only gives a gift our hearts can own. Beginning of love. Let us always meet each other with a smile, for a smile is the beginning of love. Love is a fruit in season at all times, within the reach of every hand. There are no great things, only small things with great love. Give with love all you can. Be faithful in small things. If you cannot feed 100, feed just one. Be faithful in small things. Each of us are links that form a chain of love. Let's form a chain of love. Let us
Well done. Okay, you guys, on 3, just do this really quick and smile at each other. 1, 2, 3. Does that feel good? Okay, put it back on. Put it back on. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. Have a happy day, everyone. Thank you.